Our story will focus on the restoration of the ancient Egyptian funerary mask of Mahu from the Pushkin State Museum. The mask arrived at the Polychrome Sculpture Conservation Workshop in a critical condition. The fabric base was badly deformed, resulting in numerous peelings of the canvas and primer with the paint layer. The restoration process was preceded by a thorough examination and description of the state of preservation. In the next stage, surface contamination was removed with cotton swabs, and sampling areas were chosen. While examining the mask, microsamples were taken in the areas of particular interest. The tiny particles were numbered. Each sample was placed in a separate tracing paper envelope for further investigation. The research carried out with the participation of experts from the Graber Center made it possible to specify the technology used to create this unique object of ancient Egyptian art, as well as to decide on the optimum method of conservation. All the samples were photographed and then examined under the microscope in the physiochemical laboratory. The elemental composition was determined by X-ray fluorescence analysis. The identification of the molecular composition of the samples was carried out by droplet microchemistry using Fourier infrared spectroscopy. In this way, the composition of all samples was determined and a stratigraphic profile of the mask was made. In the first stage of the work, the conservator selected solutions to remove surface contamination. Particularly meticulous work involved thinning the darkened varnish coating. The surface of the mask was cleaned millimeter by millimeter, revealing the quality of the shades and colors of the ancient Egyptian mask from the New Kingdom era. One of the most important stages of the work was to reinforce the detached and damaged fragments of the mask. To do this, backing fabric was fitted on the reverse side, onto which the fragments that had come off were glued. After consolidating the damaged fragments, selected fragments on the reverse side were reinforced with mastic. For further storage and display of the funerary mask of Mahu, the conservator made a special tray to protect the object from deformation. All specific features of the surface of the piece were taken into account in the manufacturing process. This ensured that the mask would fit tightly on the tray. At the final stage of work, the tray was tinted in a neutral color that matched the color of the mask. The owner of the object, a farmer of the Amun Temple, died 3,500 years ago, but the mask has preserved his features. In the afterlife, the deceased was to be recognized by this mask, as well as by the image on the sarcophagus, and taken into eternity.